Alright, so the new album 9 by BLINK-182 is out now. It dropped yesterday at about 9 o'clock, I think. This was an album that I didn't really know what to expect fully. I knew what I was thinking I was going to expect, kind of, just because of the first singles that they dropped, like, what were they? Let me pull it up. Blame It On My Youth, Happy Days, Generational Divine was another one. I don't know if you can fully call that a single because it was only 49 seconds. But that one and Dark Side, I think were the 4, right? Blame It On My Youth, Generation Divine, Happy Days, and Dark Side. Oh wait, there's one more. Really Wish I Hated You. Yeah, that was the last one, I think. Yeah, with those 4 singles, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, on Blame It On My Youth, that was a very different sounding song from something we've heard from Blink. It had a lot of kind of synth type sound, electronic sounds, I guess you could say. Not super guitar driven at all. Had a really poppy type vibe to it, sound, you know, just something really different. So on Dark Side though, no, right after that they dropped Generational Divine, which a lot of people were saying is kind of like a slap in the face. Fuck you to all the fans, because they got a lot of backlash for Blame It On My Youth for how it sounded. And that was just like a quick 50-second burst of like punk rock. Like Travis has a super fast punk rock beat behind it. You know, punk rock guitar, just simple, you know, basic chord progression, and then you're like, you know, punk song. And you know, he's saying, "Are we better? Are we better now? Is it better?" Kind of insinuating, you know, are we better now that we're playing punk rock or whatever. So there was that. Happy Days. Happy Days was the next single. Yeah, that one was, I don't know, I'm gonna get into all the tracks. I wrote like a couple, like jotted down some notes here just in case. I've only listened to the album probably 3 or 4 times, maybe 5. So this is kind of my first thoughts on everything. I guess let's just get into the album. So the first single, or not the first single, the first track of 9 is called The First Time. Yeah, so this song actually comes in with pretty heavy guitars to start things off. Mark comes in starting with the pretty catchy verse, and then when the chorus comes in, Matt has like the background vocals part, which is saying something different than what Mark's saying, what he's saying. Oh no, there ain't nothing like the first time. So yeah, that one's a pretty solid song. I think it was really catchy and had a good hook. It was a good song to start it off, to kind of get fans on the more right track of where this album was heading. So yeah, solid song. On to the next one, Happy Days. I guess I said a little bit about this one already. Pretty simple guitar riffs, nothing too crazy. Really repetitive though. I think he said Happy Days probably 100 times in this song. Wanna feel happy days, happy days. You know, it was kind of on the slower vibe. Not my favorite on the album at all, but you know, not the worst song either. And the next track would be track 3, Heaven. I feel like it's kind of a trend for a lot of these songs to come off with like the slower, kind of mellow guitar sounds, clean, you know, not super distorted or anything, just like a simple little riff, and then the chorus comes in and then just hits really hard with Travis, Mark, and Matt, and yeah, it just makes the song. The choruses on all these songs, I think, are the strong point of most of them. And on the bridge on this one, I think it was cool. Matt did a good job with that. It was interesting. It had a pick slide, which was also pretty, I don't know if it's different for, maybe on early stuff they had a couple of them, but not in a while. I don't think I've heard, you know, at least one that stood out that much. Big pick slide going into like the second slide, or the second chorus, so that was cool. Dark Side, they put out a video for this that I think got a lot of hate just because they had a bunch of kids doing, you know, Fortnite dances and weird stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I like the song. I actually did a cover of it on my channel, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description for that. Yeah, it feels like a very Matt-driven song. I think he had a lot of influence on this one. Dark vibes, you know. It's called Dark Side, but it has like an upbeat, kind of happy, you know, in that major scale type sound to it. Good hook on the chorus, you know, that Matt's singing. It's also repetitive, kind of like Happy Days. You know, it sings that same chorus over and over a good amount of times, but it'll get stuck in your head, so whether you like that or not, I guess that just kind of depends. I like the song. I think it's good. Yeah, like I said earlier, like most of the songs, it starts with that softer intro, pretty mellow, and then the chorus comes in and it just it hits a lot harder, and you know then it makes the song like really come alive and just come together as a complete unit, I guess. Overall, good song. I liked it. It was really catchy. Blame It On My Youth, I already talked about that one a little bit. First single, didn't get my hopes up for the album. Luckily, I was surprised. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It was a pretty forgettable song, honestly. Generational Divine, talked about that one already. Not much to say, just a quick burst of energy of punk rock. Runaway. Completely different sound starting off. It almost kind of sounds like the beginning of like a rap song or something. It's got some keyboards. You don't really know where the song's headed at first until it goes into that chorus. It's really catchy though, you know, Mac is run away, don't let me run away, get away, don't let me get away, no. Travis does a great job in the song. The drum beats fit perfectly. Had a lot of energy and just ambience the whole thing. On the bridge had some pretty interesting effects and filters on the vocals, a lot of like different harmony parts coming at you at different angles, or you know, panning left and right or whatnot. But I think overall it was pretty cool, and then it did a good job of building up hype for the last chorus, so that was cool. Moving on, Black Rain. This one definitely was another one that sounded a lot like Matt, had a ton of influence on it. Started out with some organs, kind of that dark tones to it, you know, singing about tragedies, bringing them pain. Yeah, but then the energetic guitars and drums come in. Travis has a really good drum beat on the verses, especially on this one. He has a cool groove that he does. It's pretty unique. Mellows out on the first chorus, and the last chorus wraps up the song. Yeah, so this one was really just hitting hard on just tragedy and bringing pain and that sort of vibe. So, and the music accompanied that pretty well. So that was cool. It was different, almost on something maybe on the self-titled record, you know, when they went really different and dark from their previous records. So that one was cool. It was a good change, I think. Really Wish I Hated You. I don't have much to say about this one. Personally, it wasn't really that great of a song to me. I think lyrically it was good just because it was like pretty personal song to Mark, since he's pretty vocal about, you know, some of the things that, you know, some of his thoughts. So I Really Wish I Hated You. This one was the last single before the release. And nothing stood out too much to me. It was pretty basic. It's a slower song, but yeah, just nothing too crazy. Pin the Grenade though. This one might be my favorite song on the album. Starts with a solid drum groove. Yeah, very driven chorus that you just want to keep going over and over. It's really catchy. Matt comes in on the second verse, does a great job. Yeah, they just go into like a simple kind of clean guitar riff on the bridge of this one. They really do a good job of bringing the energy back up for that last chorus, and then it just hits really hard. I like this one a lot. It's fun, it's bouncy. It has a good sound to it, and I like it. It's good. No Heart to Speak Of. Shit. So on No Heart to Speak Of, Matt did a great job on the vocals on it. Depressed vibe, but I don't know, he had like this shouting thing going on over the drums, and it was cool. I think it fit well. It was something different, definitely. Coming right back into that last chorus, Matt had this, he screamed. I mean, I can't remember the last time I heard someone scream like that on a Blink record, so it showed like some of that raw emotion, I think. And then on the ending of this, Travis gets to do like some fill work. It just has like some piano, some mellow stuff, and just a long drawn out outro with Travis doing some crazy fills and drum work, so that was really cool. Ransom. This is the 12th track on the album. This one was kind of random. Auto-tune in the beginning. I don't think a lot of people are going to be too thrilled on that. It catches you off guard when it goes into the chorus because it's just a high energy, kind of like a Generational Divine almost. You know, it's got that classic punk rock beat Travis is doing, and then the same fast-paced guitars, bass to accompany it. It's catchy. It sounds good. It's only about a minute and 25 seconds, but it's a short burst, and it's pretty cool. On some emo shit. Definitely has an interesting title. It's kind of funny. It's definitely on some emo shit. Kind of just a classic sad song about a girl, you know. Instrumentally, it wasn't too interesting. Nothing stood out too much, you know. It was kind of on the laid back more side. No super driven guitars or anything like that. Not terrible, not great. Hungover You. Not much to say about this one either, just because it starts off with a chiller vibe. The chorus is decent. It's a decent hook, but you know, it's definitely, it's not my favorite. And the last track on the album, Remember to Forget Me. Most of it is acoustic. It's a pretty depressing song, honestly. I think Mark wrote most of this lyrically. It has a few parts in it, I think, with Matt in it, where it almost sounds kind of like the sad boy emo rap type stuff, which that's not really my favorite thing, but I think it fits the song okay. Overall, I think Remember to Forget Me was a good way to wrap up the record. Kind of has a long, drawn-out outro, kind of like something they would do live for I Miss You or something like that. To summarize up the album, I thought it was solid work. I think it was really cool. It had a lot of good chorus melodies, good verses, just good songwriting in general. Definitely an upgrade from the previous album, California, which kind of lyrically sounded pretty uninspiring, and musically had a ton of na-nas and la-las, and just sounded like they're trying to please the crowd. I enjoyed it a lot. I will be listening to it probably for the next month or so. And I think the fans will like it too, as long as they keep an open mind to some of the new sounds and things that they try out, some of the more experimental things. Anyways, so if you like this review, like the video, and let me know in the comments what you think about the new album. Thanks for watching.